Yo, welcome to the stream. Song is Iceland Stragged, Part 2. On Double Agent, Splinter Cell. Good song. Good game, actually. It's not that good, but it's still good. I still like it. Oh, I have the chat over the... Sorry, I need to show the split. Otherwise I would show the chat. But... Also, this thing is kind of... there, I guess. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, it's a questionable game, let's call it. At least for me. We're gonna go to runs immediately because we have a long line probably incoming. Nice start. Let's start again. Splits were minimized. But yeah, it's one of those games that could have been so much more. Like, kind of lost potential. But still not a bad game. It's just a... You know that, like it could have been so much more. But it has some great moments. Like that song in particular is kind of a good moment. It adds to the tension and the character of Sam Fisher. I like it. Yeah, leg target. Let's go. Up to a great start. Yo, hello, Nano. How's everyone doing on the shed? Well, so the splits, those are from my previous PD on this category. This is a weird category. Very, very weird. A category where I have to play looking at my TV with a fucking cross on top of it, on front of it all the time. Just to make things easier for me.
To think that once I could
So this was it 2020, I guess? Like early 2020 maybe? Or 2019? I actually don't know. Doing a casual Silent Hill speedrun, interesting. Yeah, I'm doing a casual run here too. This is cutscene percent. We're gonna see more cutscenes than on Trujando, most likely. And I hope you like Pius. I hope you really like Pius. We're gonna have the time of our life with Pius today. And I guess for the next, I don't know, weeks. Everything depends on when do I PV. I might just do one PV. I'm not particularly looking to optimize this category. I just want to get a PV. Late 2019 according to SRC? Okay. Yeah, makes more sense. Yeah, Freecast was discovered on May of 2020 or March. One of those two. So it definitely was before that. And that's one of the reasons why I am doing this again, because now we have Freecast, which makes this almost the same, but it says one cutscene storage. Which, listen, is not a lot, but it's something. My pain is reduced by like a sixth or a fifth. So that is pious. And I have to split. And that's not my split. I'm splitting like you, no. You infected me with that split method.
I cannot say what was the true beginning.
You say fancy, but it actually saves time. Like 0.3 seconds. It is fancy though. Now what about this? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna come here. 7, 8, 9, match A, watch Dark Servant.
You are not free.
Leave the controller
This plane
and watch
until you complete a
the
task
fucking
for me.
cutscene.
You are to hunt and kill the master of this house. Do this one.
So we're gonna kill the master of this house many times today.
The wrath of
Or fear the wrath of your selected ancient. That is too early, I think. So I failed the first one.
You are not free to leave this
I'm allowing myself
until you complete a task for me.
a couple good
You are to
fails.
hunt and kill the master of this house.
Good fails means
Do this
means
one
early
thing
strat.
and you will be free.
I mean early frame.
Fear the wrath of Chaturka.
Early frame means you know that you didn't get it. That one looks too late, in my opinion. But on this one, you quite don't know if you get it or not. Okay, I didn't get it. So you can already see the time loss. Because on my PV, I got that first try. And that's why I'm allowing an early frame. Early frame means 30 seconds time loss, because you only watch the cutscene again. So 30-second time loss is not that bad for the rest of the run, considering I still have a lot of time to save later, if I get lucky. But yeah, like if I get a late frame, then I need to scroll up all the way, see if I get it. If not, scroll down again, and that it's like 50 seconds or so. So yeah, I'm cursed right now by my first PV. So why is this a curse, you might say? Okay, so you see the amount of attempts. It says 5, but that's because I've been like, oh, hang on, is it adding 2 each time or not? Maybe I got the glitch, the live split glitch. It might be that. The real number of attempts is only 2, like the actual attempt, or maybe 3 if you count the last one. So, finish attempts at least, let's call it. That is the correct word. The first finish attempt is the one run I did on 2019. Before that, I actually did a couple. A bunch, a dozen.
To think
None of those
that
finished.
once I could not see beyond.
So this is one of those categories where you don't quite finish runs. Ever. And when you finish one, it is either a record or you have watched like 2 hours of cutscenes and you are like an hour behind the other category record. So basically you have a lot of endurance to keep going with a run that is not going anywhere. Usually how it goes with this. Most enjoyable kind of run, yeah. And you see a sum of vest. That's because I got some of my best from normal 80%. Basically, the ones that are like the same on this run. Because some chapters are the same, depending on the amount of cutscene storages you're willing to do. The maximum amount is 9. I am not doing 4 of those. Because those don't save that much time. Technically, for a TIS, it's even more. It's 11. But the 2 final ones save seconds. Like, units of seconds. You know, like 5 seconds maybe. So for a human to do that, it's like there's a problem with you, basically, if you're trying to even think about that. Unless you already have everything else. But yeah. So 9, it's like the most optimal, even for humans. You could do it. 7, it's hard. Again. I've watched too many of your streams, I don't know. Now, to be fair, I did wanted to change
what was the true beginning.
my pious a little bit. Just because that one is kind of hard to split so close. No, don't watch that. We don't want to watch that. So yeah, it is kind of a shame that the cutscene we need is so far down.
You are not
for sure.
free to leave this plane until you complete a task for me. You are to hunt and kill the master of this house. Do this one thing, and you will be free.
You cannot do CS on pious because you need to choose an alignment. You can actually skip the chapter, but you need to choose an alignment. And that's why you play pious.
Everything is
If you were not to choose an alignment, if you could complete the game without an alignment, you could skip pious. God, fuck. Alright. First round of the night. So that's frame perfect. You need to watch Dark Servant. 30 seconds of it. In-game cutscene. Then after that, there's a pre-render cutscene. If you are able... Fuck. Come on. Let me do this first. If you are able to...
From my research, it is apparent that the endeavors...
to pause on the exact frame where the transition is, where in-game and pre-render cutscene, you can storage a certain state of cutscenes. And that's the cutscene storage. And so from there, you can like transfer the storage to another cutscene.
We should get out of here.
And you have access to almost every cutscene from the pause menu. Right? And what this does is it kind of triggers some of the flags and some of the teleports of those cutscenes. Depending on the cutscene. There's many different things that can happen, of course. So one of the things you can do is you can trigger the chapter, the completed chapter state or whatever that Pius has at the end of his chapter. So there, watch the end of Pius, and that skips to the next chapter. And that's true for every cutscene storage. If you do it for an Alex, though, you're gonna reset the game. Kinda behaves like an individual level. Like, what would happen if you beat an individual level? You will reset the game. And then you can do a similar thing with Karim later. With the end of Karim. But in order to do that, you actually need to beat Karim once. It's weird. I don't really understand it. Most of this glitch, I don't think we really understand it. At least me, I just document a lot of stuff. To know about the different outcomes. I'm also playing on Japanese. I did some digging on stats, and Japanese and US are extremely tied, extremely close on this category. It kind of depends on the amount of CSs you're doing. But like I think with 5, Japanese was like 1 second ahead, and then with 7 or 9, I don't remember, US started to get 1 second ahead because of the amount of pre-rendered cutscenes you will see. He's tired. No, there's not any bad, like really bad things that can happen with that one. The worst thing that can happen is that if you miss the torch on the zombie, you will get to the next room and then you need to go back to kill it, which should be a couple seconds. Time loss. Now the thing about that one is it only saves like 0 point something. Like 0.3 or 4, it's on the document. It's less than a second. So it's one of those like semi-swag strats. Because you're gonna lose much more than that if you don't get it. Alright, feels second, I guess, second real time of the run. The first real time is skipping Elia. This is the next one. There is a possible soft lock here. Good. No sanity effects too. Awesome. Yo, Sierra, how are you doing? Thank you for the good luck. So, my previous PV, I failed that trick, I think. And I had to fight the horror, I believe. Plus maybe a sanity effect, I'm guessing. So that is one of the reasons why I can't accept one fail on Elia. why do I have the Gladius? When did I equip the Gladius? No. Still very sick. That sucks.
Modern psychology of
We got a torch. The fuck? You never see a torch there. So Anthony is one of the optional cutscene storages you could do. Right after getting Antorbog, you can do cutscene storage. Which will... fuck. Come on. Which will give you invisible magic gauge. But you can avoid that by, let's say, doing a spell right before the cutscene storage. In any case, that saves like 1.5 minutes, I think. Same thing with Karim. You could chapter skip right after getting Uyaf on the Ramdal fight. That does two things. One, it saves about 2 minutes. At the risk of cutscene storage, of course. Or, and, rather, you later cannot use Karim to skip chapters. So you need to scroll a tiny bit extra on every storage. That's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, I'm doing a normal kill. I don't want to risk a crash. Even while my movement looked pretty good on this portion. Like, I would avoid a crash. I just don't want to risk it. And it was a good sanity effect, regardless, but whatever. Scary dropper. Hopefully explodes. Not quite. Could still explode here. So I'm gonna match B.
This isn't really happening.
There is... It's a specific thing. It's not the storage that causes scratches with sanity effects. It's another trick. Getting like when you kill the horror that has a rune, you're gonna see a slow death sequence of the horror. Check out like a very in-game cutscene where you cannot do anything. You can skip that by transitioning the door and killing the horror at the same time. But if during that you get a sanity effect on the next room, you're gonna crash. Because the game doesn't handle very well you getting the rune. Ah, music. Goodbye, music. Now this is a glitch that has been documented in the sense of we've seen it like 3 times. But we don't know how it works. We don't know what exactly triggers this, or how to trigger it. And now we're gonna get the initial music of Karim eventually. There it is. Which I'm a fan of. One of my favorite tracks. And it's so funny that you get it with low sanity. Instead of the scary noises. But then it's gone. Ow. That's kind of bad. But now it's back again. Instead of the scary noises. This will reposition me. No, it doesn't reposition me, but I'm still close to the door. And now, when I cross the second sanity threshold, the 25%, I get scary noises. This is very low health. Not the biggest fan of this. What do you mean no? What do you mean no? Might need to do an extra recovery. I mean, sure. It's not the item I want. But I guess whatever. Weird reposition. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need 3 recoveries here. There you go, double record. Weird. Is one of those. Come on, kill something. Please. God. Jesus. That is why you don't want to fight behind the barrier. Unless you're pretty good with anim cancels and free cast. Funny that I still save time. I can't believe it. I mean, I didn't save time. I'm not behind. Alright, so what is supposed to happen, the proper strat is right before all the things went wrong, you will kill the horror on one shot, okay? You will kill on one shot, right when the bone teeth appears, kind of. Or even before that, actually. Bone teeth never quite appears. Then you watch a cutscene, and then you will see the end sequence of that. Instead, Randao sometimes decides to be like that, and you only cut like one head of the horror, and then it's very hard to actually aim for the horror, and so you need to start improvising. So what you saw there was my best attempt at improvising to survive the fight. Good thing is you have the talisman, so that's free health, and you can free cast every single of those talismans, so they don't get cancelled by the attacks. Yeah, I mean, I didn't kill it, but I actually wanted to kill it. It was such a mess. It just didn't work. On the actual good strat, you don't even touch the bone thief. It keeps being a zombie even. So it's even more bounty friendly, kinda. Those are the best rubbers. The ones that circle around a lot before start singing. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Another no magic message for start, and then I can move in the cutscene and reload inside of it. Okay. So I did reveal. And nothing else. Yeah, that's it. We don't do attack. For this run. We don't need it. 3 attack is only used on 2 spots. Paul and Roberto. And we don't play any of those spots. That's another death skip, where you kill the zombie and come back to the previous room at the same time. And now hope for a good guardian. Yeah, let's see it. I think it's right there. No? Guess not. Downtown, yeah. Wanted to go inside of Enga. It doesn't prevent the worst RNG, but in my very experimental, observational experience, it gives you a better RNG like more times. It's kind of more likely to get a close one. But it might be completely like wrong. It's just an experience argument. Sure. Let's just cast that.
The ancients' influence was incredible.
Because it kind of feels like the closer you are to it, the more it wants to go far away from you a little bit. Not really sure. I've seen worse from the other strat. So yeah, also the worse RNG kinda happens less, I think. But it still happens. Alright, Mr. Zombie. You come here. Try to attack on this spot. And then you grab me on this spot. And then I clip on the wall. And everyone's happy. Okay, not quite. Yo, Trapper. Bad Trapper. Okay, we're gonna do a backup though. Good. I don't like that angle. It's a lot of HP, but it was kind of the only way to do it. I'm gonna need some extra recoveries. So the angle was a little bit off, which means I need to delay the barrier a little bit. But I delayed way too much, and so I got a lot of damage. Magic's pretty low too, because those suck magic too, not only health. Now let's see how this one goes. Fuck. Was too late. Can I turn around? I think I need to keep going. Okay, thanks. That's pretty bad. That's a weird camera. I don't hear sound, so it should be right. Yeah. I'm actually not allowed to see my sanity on the pause menu. It's not a rule, it just doesn't show. Because I skip Elia. Okay, Okay, that's the first sanity effect. That means no bleeding walls too. So I got lucky here. I'll do a recovery here. I have high sanity, so I can do it. I will be able to read you after this chapter. This chapter has some Lost Vikings vibes. There's too much stuff going on it. But after this, it's gonna be pure cutscenes, pretty much.
Remember me, Alex.
This can't be
You can, but you don't want to. That was very close to 50% sanity. I'm even high sanity here, that's incredible. I have the luxury of not doing a spell here. Because inverted floor, inverted room, walking on ceiling, whatever, only shows up fixed it on 25% sanity. Now there's still a chance, technically, that you get that on 50% sanity if it shows up in the next sanity effect, which is very unlikely. And then I think you will get it anyways if you were to run in a room like that. I've never seen it, but it feels like something that could happen, just because that thing randomly appears in the list sometimes. Alright, so one of the first differences, well, I guess second difference. The first one was not making attack on max. The second one is the assignment here. I assign Celta Pool instead of Chaturga Pool, because I don't need Chaturga Pool. I need to cast it once, only here, so I can do it manually. But then for assignments, the next spell that we need, the next spells that we need are going to be for Peter. But that's not the reason why we have Pool, because we actually won't cast that on Peter. But we're gonna use it on Alex. Alex 12, the last Alex. That's when we're gonna use that Pool. What the fuck are we gonna do before that then? Well, stay tuned. Yeah, it has a lot. It has a lot of sanity effects. Like, it took me a while to find all of them. And there is a bunch that also... Oh, nice. Okay, that is weird. I don't have explosion.
Really?
Holy shit. Okay, that's... Like, I don't know how this is gonna play out, because I don't have it, I think. And I don't know if I'm gonna get it. Because there's barely any chapters that I'm gonna play. I feel like the only place where I can get it is Alex 12. We don't play Paul long enough to see it. So we might see a sanity if I'm gonna live 12, no matter what. But hey, we might not see Aleph 12. Aleph. We'll find out now.
In Europe, during the time of the Inquisition.
So that's the portion of the run that looks very similar to 20%. Come on. Now we're gonna go to the actual different part, which is the boss rush. Bosses here being cutscene storage.
You are not free to leave this plane until you complete a task for me.
I had to hear 4 of
You are
those.
to hunt and kill the master of this house. Do this one thing, and you will be free. Else fear the wrath of Chaturma.
Just press start. That's it.
Everything
Could
is
be.
complete.
Heresy. Fuck.
You are a clever man.
So that one failed. You go free again.
You are not free to leave this plane
Yep.
until you complete a task.
For frame perfect tricks.
You are to hunt and kill the master of this house. Do this one thing, and
Yeah, but also like slow gameplay in general.
fear the wrath
But I
of
guess it's true.
Chaturma.
If you play 50 FPS ball, this might be like a little bit faster. Yeah, I forgot the split. I'll fix it on the next cutscene storage.
Everything is complete.
Thank you.
You are a clever man.
It has 2 modes. You can choose to play on...
You are not free to leave this
Hang on.
plane until you complete
that-
a
yeah.
task for me. You are to hunt and kill.
You
the
can
master
choose to
of
play
this
on
house.
either 50 or 60 on
Do
this game.
one thing, and you will be free. Else fear the wrath.
Although
of
we haven't
Chaturma.
dig enough into 50 FPS, really. Seems late.
Everything is complete.
Fuck.
You are a clever man. You are not free to leave this plane.
You are a clever
until
man,
complete
and
a
you are
task
not
for me.
free to leave this plane.
You are to hunt and kill the master of this house.
And then everything is complete.
do this one thing, and you will be free. Else fear the
On the next
wrath
one, I'm gonna
of
change the
Chaturma.
alignment. So we'll see a different guardian.
Everything is complete.
Nope.
You are a clever man.
So you see me disappointed before watching the cutscene.
You are
That is
not
because
free
I
to
do
leave
know
this plane
if I got it or
until you
not
complete
before
a
the
task
cutscene
for
shows up.
me. You are to
Because
hunt
when you
and
get it,
kill the
as soon as
master
you
of this
press the
house.
cutscene,
Do this
you
one
will
thing,
hear
and
a
you will
double
be free.
sound from the
Else
cutscene.
fear the wrath of
The whoosh
Chaturma.
of the pause menu plays 2 times. That's how you know you get it.
Everything is complete.
So there, I didn't get it.
You are a clever man.
And then after that, you will see the cutscene in the current room you are.
You are not free to leave
And so you
this
will get
plane
extra
until
confirmation.
you complete a task for me.
Also, be sure to never
You are to hunt
unpause,
and kill
with a
the
cutscene
master of
storage.
this house.
because it's a crash most
Do
of the
this
time.
one thing, and you will be free. Else fear the wrath
So
of
my PV, I
Chaturma.
got this one on second try, I think.
Everything is complete. You are a clever man.
Okay, one more.
You are not free to leave this plane until you complete a task for me. You are to hunt and kill the master of this house. Do this one thing, and you will be free. Else fear the wrath of Chaturka.
That was early. Okay. I don't really see anyone else doing this to themselves. I am a believer that I am the only person in this world willing to do this. For this game, at least. Because, you know, on other more developed games, speedrun-wise, people have been doing stuff like this for a while. Nice. And I kill it even. %100% is a good category. I absolutely recommend 100%. If you, let's say, like, the big catch to 100% is you need to do a restore for it to be interesting, let's say, and like enjoyable. So I guess my advice for Hando 1 alignment, by the way, not True Hando. True Hando is a different story, but Hando 1 alignment is a good category. And my advice would be play Edward individual level, see if you like it, and then do a couple of restores and see how good you are with that. And if you're okay with those two things, then Hando is an excellent category. Hando 1 alignment. Because I like it. Yeah, it is cool. Might do a tutorial of that. Because that is not on the friendly part of tricks. Edward is actually, the beginning of Edward is one of the most technical chapters of the game, actually. If you wanted to play optimally, or semi-optimally. Get out of here. Like the cutscenes menu thing. A menu that only becomes available later on something else. It's always there, but you start winning cutscenes as you see them on your first playthroughs. So it's something that you start filling up. And then you can translate that into the next playthrough. To heritage the, you know, the cutscene from the previous playthrough. And so this is a category, for example, where you, at the beginning of the game, you say, yes, I want to carry on the information. So you are able to see all the cutscenes from the beginning. Which is this weird New Game Plus-esque thing of Eternal Darkness, which we already do on any normal 80%, by the way. You just say no, not to carry information, so you won't see the cutscenes and autopsies, but you're still able to skip cutscenes.
I cannot say what was the true beginning.
Like there, for example, pressing start there to skip that cutscene. Why? We don't know why. Developers stuff, I guess.
You are not
And the story
free
only
to
works
leave
later
this
on, or
plane
is it just
until you
only
complete
useful
a
later?
task for me.
The thing is, so this cutscene is very late.
And kill the master
This
of
is
house.
chapter 8,
Do
chapter
this
10
one
cutscene.
thing, and you will be free.
So
Else
this is the
fear
best
the
cutscene you can
wrath
use
of
for
Chataha.
storage. It's the fastest one. Technically, you can use any cutscene to do cutscene storage, but you need to wait until the end of the cutscene. It's just that this cutscene happens to have this transition
Everything is
right
to-
here. Very early. Just 30 seconds. You know? Every other cutscene is more than 30 seconds. Oh my gosh. And that is a fail. Can do one more.
You are not free
Did I press
to
start?
leave this plane.
No, I didn't. See, yeah. See, I did. Good. It's so fun. So the run I got, the 1-9, I got that offline. Like I said before, I think I made these splits later or something, and that's why it said just one attempt on the first run. But it was actually like a lot of attempts. And I still think I got really lucky with that run. So even with the new technology, it's really hard, maybe not happening, that I would get another PV. I don't remember how much I saved with Freecast compared to the other run. I don't think it'll be more than, I don't know, 2 minutes. Because in no CS, you know, quote unquote normal or competitive any percent, let's call it. Freecast saves like 3 minutes, 3+ minutes. Maybe a tiny bit more. 3.5 even, I would say, yeah. But you also play more of the game, you know? There's more places where you can use Freecast to get faster, you know?
That once
A lot of those places are skipped here. And so there's few instances where it's useful. And where it's most useful is on the later chapters. Because you have more spells. And you have to do more 7 spells. Which are also the chapters that you can skip the most. Because you don't need stuff from those chapters. Unlike early chapters where you need every item. The game doesn't give you an item when you skip chapters. You need to get it from source. That's not a requirement of the run. It's just how the game operates. The only way we have right now to don't get stuff from source is GIM, get item manipulation. But it takes too much to set up. That's how we skip Roberto on the other 80% category. And you could do it here, but it adds probably an entire minute Or more. Probably more, I would say. I don't know. And I guess that makes the Kateri painful in a different way. What do you mean of white hovers? Yeah. No, we don't have that, but we have this. What is the closer thing we had to that? I guess the closest thing was low percent no cutscene storage, where you have to beat Enga without shields. So it's like Trapper Dimension the run. Because literally the only way to survive is going to Trapper Dimension multiple times to recover stats. And then do animation cancels all over the place to survive the electricity without shields. All that to beat the game on... how many was? 20-something spells? 30 spells, maybe? 29? I don't remember. With cutscene storage, you can do it on less than 10. And if you allow jump to game to be used, you can do it on 4 spells.
Complete a task for me. You are to hunt and kill the master of this house. Do this one thing, and you will be free. Else fear the wrath of Chaturka.
Okay. Early.
You are not free to leave this plane until you
The one frame early, you skip the cutscene before going to the pre-rendered part. And that's why I know immediately that I didn't get it. Because if you do get the frame, you still go to the next part. If you press start right at the transition, he actually still goes to the next part. Like this. So this could be. This could be good. Come on. One more. Not quite. Yeah, and by the way, so I actually did an HRT of this run in the past. That might have been on early 2020. Maybe. Not entirely sure. And that run is 54 minutes. And it's also on like emulator. So on console, that would be like 53 maybe. And that is before FreeCast. So today, that run would be, I don't know, maybe 51. Could be. But that's getting every single cutscene storage first try. And the rest of the playthrough has to be very good too. Which is like Lindsay, let's say. Like Lindsay is one of those chapters where you can lose a free minute or gain a free minute. Well, not free, but gain or lose a minute. Yeah, TIS might be sub 50.
that
Yeah,
once
it's
I
probably
could
sub
not
50.
see beyond.
Probably. Yeah, I was thinking free in the sense of if you get the time save, it's probably gonna be a minute, you know? Like if you get the thing. But getting the thing is the not free part. It's free after you buy it, you know? That's how it works, right? You buy something and then it's free. Because after buying it, you don't need to pay for it. I think that's how it works. Yo, Shayring, how you doing? This is a AAA game. Yeah, actually. Fuck. But yeah, we get to see a lot of our boy Pius, at least on this stream. The most basic chapter. Basically only movement fundamentals on this chapter. And this trick, I guess. 2 tricks. That one. And this one on the portal. That I didn't get. The style of the show, exactly. So does this game look like a game that could have audio, not audio, video auto splitter?
I cannot say what was the true beginning, nor am I.
Because I would be interested in that for sure.
You are not free to leave this plane until you complete a
This is
task for
the
me.
main
You are to
character.
hunt and kill the
The same
master of this
people
house.
become main character on
Do
Twitter.
this one
What?
thing, and you will be free. Else fear the wrath
Technically
of
over yet.
Chaturga.
Wait, you were in hiatus? From where? From when? Whence?
Everything is
Come on. Everything is complete. Show me. Ah, fuck you. Oh, didn't read anything. I see. Yeah, because I was going to say, but what about all the times you posted your PVs? That kind of sounds like what I do. Like I don't really read stuff on Twitter. I mean, I do, but not really. I only see like I see some drama here and there, but it's like I maintain myself at the margin of a lot of stuff. Plus, I don't follow a lot of people. I don't follow trends, for instance. So when something's happening, I'm always getting delivered that thing from someone else that usually has a decent opinion on the matter. like a reasonable opinion, and so I never get the bad taste of what happened. You know? Yeah, it probably is. Also, a big portion of my feed is like waifus, which is getting a little bit annoying. Because I follow a lot of artists, and it seems to be the meta on the internet.
To think that once I could not see beyond.
But I also follow a lot of pixel artists. So there's also a lot of environmental art, kinda. People horny as fuck, yes. Like, I basically knew about Resident Evil 8, for example, because of Lady D, you know? I'm getting close to finishing watching the playthrough of the game. I'm like right before the last sequence, I think. Looking pretty good. A lot of things I didn't expect. And now it kind of resonates what you said too about like the game is at its best when it doesn't try to be Resident Evil. Like there's fucking cyborgs in the game. Like what the fuck? Yes, the cyborgs. And not just that, it's like every how is it called? Like almost every kind of horror you can think, it's on the game in one way or another.
I cannot say what was the true beginning, nor am I.
So I finished Heisenberg part, and I actually I think I know what you mean, or maybe not. I still like the voice of the guy. I just don't like the amplifier they use for the fight. I think
You are not free to leave this plane
it's fine
until you complete
for
a
what it
task
means
for me.
and what it tries to
You
do.
are to hunt and
But if you
kill
use
the
too
master
much
of this
a
house.
distortion voice,
Do
it gets
this one
annoying.
thing, and you will be free. Else
But there my
feel
part
the
is with the
wrath
distortion
of
and with the
Jatana.
effect of the voice, not the voice itself. I still like the actor. It is a good game. I don't think I'm gonna play it
Everything is complete.
because I'm poor, but no, and also there's like one part that I definitely don't want to play by myself. Come on. Yep. That part. What? What happened? Let me open that again. That part is horrible. And that's why I say, like, this thing really goes into... What is the word I'm looking for? Like, when you talk about trends. It's not trend. But there's a very specific word I'm looking for. Wait, is that not a body? Trope. There you go. Yeah. The game... It's kind of incredible how they managed to get almost every horror trope in the game without being, you know, like, bad. Like, it is actually silly at some points, but it does work. But yeah, that was the word. There's almost every horror trope is on the game. Which is something you would expect from something like Spooky's House of Jump Scares, you know? That is a horror game that is like clearly satire, you know? And that's why it has every trope, almost, on it. This game does it, but with a...
that once I could not see.
With like a serious cape on top of it. Like, it's still silly, in a way. You still know that they're just having fun. But it still kind of works. Yeah, not out of a Resident Evil, you would say, exactly. Yeah. And yeah, the curse I was talking about like an hour ago. Yeah, about an hour ago. It's the curse of getting Elia first try on my run. On the first finish run. Because actually on all the attempts I did in the past, I got a fair amount of attempts that had like 3rd try, 4th try Elia even. But I was unable to finish them. Because then I would eventually reach like a frame wall, we can call it. Which is when you try to do cutscene storage for like 10 times in a row and it just doesn't seem to work. There's a wall of frame perfect stuff. The frame perfect stuff is gatekeeping you. And you just cannot finish the run. For your own sanity. But then the one that finished had Elia first try. And not just Elia first try, I also got, I think, Roberto first try. And maybe something else. I think there was 3 first tries. It's actually not a bad run. In terms of the frame perfect tricks, the rest is not that great actually. But those are the tricks that save the most on this category, sadly. comedy horror thing, letting the ridiculous enhance the horror. Yeah, actually.
I cannot say
It is
what
hard
was the true
to.
beginning.
It is very hard to
Nor
nail
am I.
that. I think it's all about pacing and rhythm. Like when you're trying to do a sitcom that also wants to go into more deep
a task for me.
stuff.
You are to hunt and kill the
Like not
master
just
of this
fun
house.
and
Do
silly
this one
loves.
thing, and you will be free.
You need to be very well
Else
with
fear
pace
the
and
wrath
rhythm,
of Chaturka.
so people can actually navigate through the different feelings. That's early.
You are not free to leave this plane until you complete a task for me. You are to hunt and kill the master of this house. Do this one thing, and you will be free. Else fear the wrath of Chaturka.
Ah, come on.
You are not free to leave this plane until you complete a task for me. You are to hunt and kill.
It's like
the
a
master
giant
of this
trapper.
house. Do this one thing, and you will be free.
Cosmic crab.
Else fear the wrath of Chaturka.
You know, I think this game and Spelunky are related somehow through the cosmic ocean. Because in this game, the cosmic ancients, all of them are creatures from the ocean. Kinda. You get the cosmic crab, which is Chaturga. You get a cosmic jellyfish, Uyoth. And then Celta, that's a weird one. It's kind of a cosmic mermaid, maybe. Or like a sea pickle. I don't know. I know those two things aren't very similar, but just follow me on that. It's definitely a creature that you would see on like deep ocean or something. Leg target, but it failed. So yeah, I think when I actually hit on leg target, I'm just hitting the body. I don't think it does damage on the legs. I don't think there's such a thing. How does that work? Because Spelunky 2 happens after Spelunky. Like directly after. As the depths. Excited like an enemy from Final Fantasy 7. Interesting. Which one? Emerald Weapon? Or not?
To think
I'm just throwing a name.
that
I
once
didn't actually
could
play the
not
game,
see
but
beyond-
it's green. And I think it's on the sea. Although that one might be below the sea. Or is that Ruby Weapon? Those are literally the two enemies I know from Final Fantasy 7. And Sephiroth, I guess. Because I never played the game. But I remember when I was obsessed with Penance, or Penance, on FFX I was looking for other super bosses. Nothing like the weapons? Okay. I like Penance design. It's so fucking weird. Kinda uncanny for me. It's not just the design, I also like... I really like that fight from a camera perspective. The way the camera is put on the fight to give power to fucking Penance. It's so incredible. Like, I really think the photography work was absolutely nuts. Because it's such a specific angle that works very well. With the entire spiral thingy and all that shit. That it wouldn't look as menacing from any other angle, I think. And also like the sense of distance. Fuck, come on. Because you are like relatively far from it. Like you can see when you do attacks, like quick attacks. If you don't do quick attacks and you don't have haste, you actually take a lot of time to reach it. You know, kind of like the fight with Scene too. That's also like very... The sense of distance is very good. I really think that game is so good. Like, the camera work in fights is really good. Because it's fixed.
Say what was the
It's fully
true
fixed,
beginning,
like this game, for instance.
nor am I.
Not like in other games where you have control or you move around. And so, since it is fit, then in order to make it cool, this had to go into, you know, cinematic criteria, just like on this game, which the cameras are also very good.
Task for me. You are to hunt and kill the master of this house. Do this one thing, and you will be free. Else fear the wrath of Chaturka.
Looks like...
Everything is complete.
Yep. Alright, let's see. Can do a couple more before doing a BRB. A twin brain. Interesting. That is like... It does definitely sound like Zelda. Can you post a picture of it? Yeah, and then that thing could be an inspiration of something else. Today you can track inspirations on every piece of art a lot. Like Lady Dimitrescu, we were talking about that. It's like literally a picture from like the 20s, I think.
To think that once
I don't think it's similar enough to be direct inspiration. Yeah. Yeah. Suboptimal pious. So my thoughts so far on Japanese are I might switch to US. But here's the thing, like I said before, they are very similar. Japanese has an upper hand on grabbing the tone. Some prompts are more comfortable and RTA faster. General loads are faster. But another thing about Japanese is Pious is consistently slower. And also pre-render cutscenes are much slower. And that is the two things I do a lot on this run. So just from a perspective of the amount of times I need to play Pious and the amount of times I need to watch pre-render cutscenes, that is actually the reason, I think, why I play US in the first place. And also, at that time, I was convinced that US was faster. Now I'm not. I think they're very similar. But it's also hard to calculate because of all the variants you have on this run. It's so much work. I spent a lot of time, like the previous week, analyzing the different scenarios, but I still don't have a clear idea of it. So I kind of think it's on a preference side.
I cannot say what was the true beginning, nor am I.
You are not free to leave this plane until you complete a task for me. You are to hunt and kill the master of this house. Do this one
Your
thing,
task,
and you will be free.
finishing this game.
Else fear the wrath of Chaturka.
Under an hour. Feels
Everything
late.
is complete.
Like, for example, in US, I can cancel the pre-render cutscene there before you hear that everything is complete of Pious. Do one more.
You are not free to leave this plane until you complete a task for me. You
I
are
think
to
we
hunt
discussed the
and
why at
kill
some
the
point
master of this house.
on the Discord.
Do this one thing,
Like,
and you will be free.
I don't know if we came to any conclusions of why the developers would do that, but we do know why it happens. It's because they are stored on a different format that takes more to load. And it could have been like a format thingy about like out of US or something like that. I don't know. The compression. Yeah, I think it's a more compressed thing, but I'm guessing they have to uncompress it every time you see it. That'll be my guess. Yeah, maybe.
From my research, it is apparent that the endeavor...
But yeah, it's kind of a shame, considering pretty much everything else is faster on this cutscene. And that's why it's also hard to, like, so hard to measure this thing. Because general loading times are faster, and that includes in-game cutscenes.
We should get out of here.
So every time you use Dark Servants for storage, you're seeing an in-game cutscene and a pre-render cutscene. So you're adding something that is slower in Japanese and something that is faster in Japanese. But you're also not watching the other cutscene at the end of every chapter. And skipping other cutscenes. And also there's a lot of text that you're not seeing on some chapters. And you need to adjust all of those things every time you add an extra storage to skip another chapter. And that's why it gets tricky to measure. Alright, monk time. Give me your sword. Alright, earn skip. So, second try earlier means I'm going to ask for a better early game. I definitely want a better early game to make up for the time loss.
So, you have come to return my...
No, this is my boo now. Horror skip. Horror skip is something I did fail on the other PV, I think. Looking at the time saved last time. So you can completely avoid fighting the horror here with a series of tricky things. So that's the storage. And then we read a message while we go past the trigger. In order to avoid the spawn of the horror. So I couldn't find the button while I was splitting. Wasn't paying attention at the splitter. But there is a chance I paused the split for like 1 second there.
Dreams. Modern psychology of...
I want a pedal for splits. Or a video splitter. I guess I can get into that starting tomorrow, because I don't know anything about video auto splitter. It's definitely not a game where it's that detrimental like it is on Lost Vikings. Like in that game, it was taking me completely out of the game. But it's still something I shouldn't worry about. Alright, let's see how these two rooms go. Okay. I'm going to attempt a dead skip. Let's see how the fight goes, at least. Seems fine to me. Okay. Aw, I tried. Tried to finish it. Was super close to it. Which is a questionable decision, because if you fail the first one, there's no reason to finish it, because you can just go for the next one.
cannot say what was the true beginning, nor am I.
One, two. Okay. Looking pretty good, but there's still the barrier. A tipping point for this chapter. The barrier fight can go very wrong. What you saw last time is one of the ways it can go wrong, but there's more. The other one is lag. Incredible amounts of lag could also happen. Kinda outside of my control. Okay, I think it's fine. No, it's not. So I need to do a enchant. To get rid of the lag. Not that big of a time loss, but still kinda sucks. Nice. I might get stuck. Yeah, I'm stuck. Nice. And say even more than that. Maybe another 10 seconds. Yo, Gryphon, how you doing? I think I forgot how to pronounce the name again. So yeah, Karim actually has new technology compared to the old route fighting behind the barrier. That is a free cast only. That was perfect, nice. And that's why I have that time save. Plus, my Karim probably wasn't that great. Or maybe I just didn't attempt dead skip, I'm assuming. Because of the crash potential, you know? That's what I think. Is it? No. Maybe it was. Did I got it there? Let's see. Let's match B. Oh, he was. Well, whatever. Barely was. Kinda need to remember to always just go for it. Like, always press A. No, press B regardless after the shot. Like, no matter what. Even if I'm far away. Come on. 3. So I am waiting, walking during that cutscene. And I start the reload before the cutscene ends too. Thanks to Free Gas, that allows me to finish my enchant inside of the cutscene. And then with a no magic message you can move. That is another one. Where's the lady? Okay. Whatever. I cast 2 recoveries. What seems risky? There isn't a whole lot of risky strats here. They're complicated, the ones that I use, but not exactly risky. Blue Horror Rune Skip? No, it's not risky. I guess it could be risky if you're not good at telling if you're behind or not. Because then it's an extra bullet. So in that scenario it could be risky. But it's still not that terrible. Like, an extra bullet will only give you like one bad menu later. Because you run out of bullets and then the next bullets you grab, it's on a different spot on the menu. So the key... oh fuck. Okay, this is bad. Alright. Forgot to reload. And of course there's an extra reload too in that scenario. But it's not risky in the sense of, like, you won't get any crutches. You don't get, like, damage or anything like that. Super late split, but whatever. It's probably, like, tied. Or 1 second behind. Yeah, but something I would call risky myself would be fighting behind the barrier, for example. Or the one on Kareem. The dead skip of Kareem. That one is risky. On this one you cannot get a sanity effect. It's impossible. Almost did it again.
The Ancients' influence was incredible.
It depends. Because then you have Silver Skip right here on Lindsay. If you fail that, you lose a minute. Or more. Maybe more. And there's no crash. Although there is a possible softlock. It's true. If you fall into oblivion. Out of the map. Out of bounds. And then you're stuck. So I guess it's double risky. Bronze keep is also... I don't know if it's risky, but kind of sucks. Like this one right here that I'm going to attempt here. If you attempt it and you don't get it, you lose like 30 seconds? Or 35? If you get it, you win 30 seconds. Come on. Yeah, this one's gonna cost me more, like 40 seconds because of how far this fucker is. This one is risky in terms of how much time you're willing to bet for this run. Also, almost never works. Unlike the other one that has a fairly consistent strat. Yeah, there's no collision out of bounds. For the most part in this game, and the gravity is very strong and does exist out of bounds, and so if you fall out of collision, you're gonna fall forever at very high speed. Okay. That's a little backup. Relatively advanced strat that you can do to move during the bronze cutscene. If you skip bronze door, you don't attempt that because you don't see the cutscene at all. But if you fail the thing or don't go for it, it is a strat you can do. It's tricky though. I don't see bleeding walls. So right there, if my movement is off a little bit, I can fall out of bounds. Okay, high sanity at least. Could even do a recovery here, probably. Yeah. Sets for good magic too. I think. Maybe it's too low on magic. Oh, I don't know. Let's find out. Oops. Oh, and that's a scratch? Yeah. I had no idea that was a scratch if you didn't precast the second one. The more you know. Oh, I had no idea. That's my mistake though, because I didn't precast the second one. Got distracted 1 second. Alright. I'll do a VRV. Maybe change to US. And keep doing this madness. Also cannot reset, right? Yeah, so it is a crash. Alright, give me a second. Need to find this song. I don't know how long it is, but it's definitely a song I've been wanting to hear. What am I lying? Why am I lying? I did hear this song a million times these days. So we're gonna put it on the stream. Okay. Be right back. Hey, welcome back. You probably didn't expect something like that from me. Maybe. I don't know. That is usted. Or you. Or though, because I guess it's like you, but it's more formal. It's the formal side of you that we have on Spanish. Usted. From the Funtus Correa. And give me a second here while I. No, that's Dolphin. There you go. We. I need to change the CD very quickly. DVD, rather. Small DVD. That song is awesome. I love it. Difuntos Correa is a Chilean band. It's a Chilean rock slash ska slash a little bit of cumbia, I guess. Yeah, it does have a little bit of cumbia here and there, which is not the side I like, honestly. It's a weird band that I actually got to know a lot about it now. I've been liking at least 3 songs of this band for a while. Usted being one of those, because he's really good. And so that song is extremely political, by the way. You know, it talks like, you know, your life is really rough. I know that. That's what it's telling to usted, you know, the person that it's alluding. But then it says, but you deserve much, much less than that, you know. And it's talking about, like, politicians and people with power and all that shit, okay?
Wondering,
And
doubting.
and the video clip of that, it's actually like, it's really awesome. Like, it shows all these bad politicians and bad people. Even has Bush on the video clip, and like Pinochet and a whole lot of people. I mean, actually, you is the formal mention, and the informal was lost. Interesting. How you doing, Pete? How you doing, Buster? I know who you are. And yeah, so it's very political. So, and they have like 2 other songs that are also really political in a way. Give me a second. We're gonna start this because I can actually talk a lot during these runs. This is US now. There's 2 more songs that are political that have to do with their name, actually. That has a little bit of political stuff here and there. And then all their other songs are love songs. Like fully romantic songs, okay? About a girl and some love that they lost or something. And they regretting losing some love here and there and all that shit, you know. And it's like, so for a while, you know, there's the hits. The hits are like a couple of romantic songs plus these 3 songs I'm talking about. And for a while I wondered, shit, if there was more political songs, because I thought, yeah, this is like 2 sides of the coin. They probably have some other stuff, but there's just those 3 songs. That's it. Like, to be honest, there's like a couple more. There is a couple more that are also political, but not in the sense these are. Like, they don't have the weight, like the cultural weight on top of them, like these 3 songs definitely have. And those are the best songs they have. The ones where they get with the cultural shit, you know? Where they get the cards on the table. There is a couple of romantic songs they have that are actually fairly good, like musically speaking. But all the others are like, meh. But yeah, those 3 songs I really recommend, honestly. Usted, El Precio, and Mujer Azul. Those 3 songs are awesome. And so I dug into this a little bit this last week because I remembered that this band exists and that I really enjoyed these 3 tracks. Actually, one of the first music I ever got into, kind of, among with other stuff, and I kind of forgot about it. You know, about the same time I got obsessed. Why did I press start? With like Gorillaz and like Eiffel 65 and Depeche Mode and stuff like that, which has nothing to do with this, by the way. But never dug more into it because of the romantic side of it. And So I dug into it this last week a lot. I heard all the albums, that's why I know what I'm talking about now. And I had this question, like, why does this band has this mysterious cultural, political, even religious side? There's some religion. It's like religion slash politics on some of the songs. Why is just so few of it? What happened? And it turns out the conclusion we came with, like, my sister and a cousin, is that, so you look at the first album is full love. It's even called, like, the name, it's about love. It's called Tramposo Amor, which is like cheating love, I guess, or treacherous love, something like that. And every single song is about romantic things, okay? Like romantic stories, romantic experiences, all that. And which is funny because the name of the band is actually like a little bit religious. I can talk about the story of the name later. But then the second album came out, and what we found out is that the second album was produced by someone very important in Chile, which is the bass player of Los Jaiba. So for those who don't know, Los Jaiba is one of the most influential bands of Chile, like of all time of Chile, let's say.
Nor am I.
It's a progressive and folk rock band, and they done like a lot of stuff, and they have a lot of history with rock, and yeah, it's just a great band. And apparently the bass player of that band helped producing the second album of Defuntos Correa.
You are to hunt and kill the master.
And so then everything makes sense, because these three songs I'm talking about are from the second album. And all three are completely charged with political and religious stuff. And also they have a very distinctive sound from the rest of all the stuff they do. And also the three of them have video clips, which are like super high quality video clips, super entertaining to watch, super professional. And so it's something you would expect for someone like that, you know, someone that has a history, you know, folk rock, political history. Los Jaiba had a very influential political history too, during their early career at least.
You are not free to leave this plane until you complete a task for me.
And so it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. And then the third album comes back to the romantic stuff. So probably this guy didn't keep being a producer at that point. So you see how fast the pre-rendered cutscenes are here. It's awesome. Yeah, again, because he's a producer. Usually producers, I think they don't stick around very much. It's usually more the actual band, you know? But it is quite a thing. Like, should I switch to a Japanese ROM for my runs? You could. You definitely could. If you do it, you kind of need to get into some B prompts that are different to get a feeling of them. And also do a different strat for the bishop on Anthony. So it is some work if you want to do it for like 9 seconds that you're gonna save. It's kind of that is the question you have to answer. Maybe later then, yeah. Yeah, it's about 10 seconds. 9 to 10 on your current round. I think it's like 8th with Roberto skip. So yeah, we definitely, I think sometimes we oversee the work of producers, that the amount of influence that producers have on bands. It is usually more important on like pop artists. Like there's a lot of pop artists that are basically just producers. You know, like the producer pretty much does everything. But it's also like a big thing on other kinds of bands. Like I also remember seeing some interviews with Mars Volta and how their first producer helped them making a lot of their stuff more like simple in a way, which is such a thing to say because you know Mars Volta is not simple. So imagine how it was before. And more like digestible, let's say, for people to listen. Just basically cutting like a couple minutes on some songs that already were like 8 minutes long in order to make it more digestible to listeners. Because it's also the first album and all that. So it's like, guys, we should do this. Let me just help you. And it was a producer that helped many other bands, like Red Hot, for example, Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's also, I think he was the connection. He made the connection that made a lot of Red Hot people appear on Mars Volta albums. Like I think Flea, the bass player of Red Hot, plays on pretty much every song of the first album. I think he's the bass line of almost every song. And Frusciante plays on Cicatrice on like one song, I think. It's a guitar solo. And then they also did several collaborations for the second album, Francis the Mute. I think also has a lot of Frusciante and Flea. And then the third album has like one song of Flea, with Flea. You can tell by the bass. Definitely a Flea bass. Look at that. 4 seconds. That is US bias. That is the magic of US bias. Japanese start saving time later.
I cannot say what was the true beginning, nor am I.
It's just there's too much text on Japanese bias. So that 4 seconds, I didn't do anything. It's just the version. I play exactly the same. Maybe even worse.
You are not free to leave this plane until you complete a task for me. You are to hunt and kill the master of this house. Do this one thing, and you will be free. Else fear the wrath of Chaturka.
Early.
You are not free to leave this.
This is the disc. Yeah. Okay, I guess I did something.
You are to hunt and kill the master of this house. Do this one thing, and you will be free.
Almost dropped the controller.
Fear the wrath of Chaturka.
That seems too late for me. Like a couple frames late. Yep. Yes. You can probably do like a highlight of all the times I dropped my controller. And it's still pristine. That's how good some old controllers are. The other bullshit I have never dropped. And it has like 3 buttons are messed up. Plus the cord sucks. I mean, you can make the highlight anyways. If you want to help, you can make clips. And then I just need to match the clips, which is so easy. Come on. Give me a leg. Do it. No leg. Um
To think that once I could not see beyond.
But yeah, after I remember about Defuntus Korea, I think I'm probably gonna get into more Chilean stuff. There is a lot of Chilean stuff I kinda actively avoid for 2 reasons, I think, when I was young. One was I was just kind of far away from music for a while and just listening to some stuff that my sister gave me and just completely got stuck with that stuff and never tried anything else. Which is the band I already mentioned before, like Gorillaz and others. Which is great, by the way. I love Gorillaz. But during that time, I didn't hear like anything else for a while. It was way later, on late school, where I actually like got into an active music seeker state. Like I want new music. Like every week looking for a new band to listen and get obsessed with and stuff like that. It was way later. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason was on my school there was a couple of guys, and this is like a very social reason. Not social in the sense of society, but like in the sense of social animal. Like how we are social animals and how we are stupid, basically, most of the time. There was a bunch of guys I didn't like, and I thought they were assholes. And they like music like this, you know? And so that was like enough for me to be far away from that music. And when I say music like this, I usually refer to popular Chilean music during the 2000s. Which is not necessarily a genre. It's multiple genres. Yeah, one of those reasons, exactly. Which is very silly. Now, that didn't stop me from listening to Defuntus Korea, but it definitely stopped me from dipping more into it, and also telling anyone that I was into it too. Because I didn't want those guys that I hate, you know. No, I don't enjoy the same thing that you enjoy, no. You can't know that. It's so stupid.
I cannot say what was the true beginning,
Like, I still get mad at situations like that, if it happens, but I don't let that, you know, shape my life. Like, it's still, it's kind of funny, you know, when you, someone you hate, or you really don't like, you find out that they like something that you really like.
Free to leave this plane until you
It
complete
sucks.
a task for me.
But
You are to hunt and kill
I try my
the
best to
master of
don't
this
influence
house.
that
Do
on
this
me
one
anymore, you
thing,
know?
and you will be free.
When I was young, you know,
And
adolescent,
fear the wrath
teenager,
of Chaturga.
you just let that shape yourself because, you know, you're seeking for validation and all those things. Do it. Do it. My vid. Look like a good friend to me. Yeah. It's funny how I can almost tell when I get it. But that still doesn't make me capable of doing it every single time because it's still a frame, you know? Like, you can tell on retrospect, kinda. But that doesn't mean your finger can match the precision. Or not just your finger, like the fucking electrical signal from your brain, your eye, and all that shit, you know?
From my research, it is apparent that the endeavors...
Yeah. And I think that same thing kept me away from instruments for a little bit. Because these guys were also into, like, instruments. And like, yeah, I play guitar, I'm cool, you know? That kind of shit.
Devil's work.
Instead of, I play guitar because I like it.
You have proven what
Which was eventually my style. Like, I do that. And yeah, it was especially a shame because my dad was also obsessed with, like, instruments. And later, when I actually got my, I like to call it, musical explosion, my dad was so much into it. Like, you finally are discovering this side of you. I'm so proud of you. I was like, sure. I mean, he helped me a lot, so I appreciate it. Because I like it and it's cool. Yeah, I mean, that's even better. That's even better. And truth be told, you know, you usually don't get to meet the people you don't like, and you don't get to know their reasons and meet them as people. There's a big chance that those guys actually liked it very much and didn't do it just because it was cool. That's just like what I perceive from the outside. But humans are usually very complicated, so I wouldn't be surprised. You are very far away. That was a chai zombie. Gotta remember to switch to USB chop. 2 hits on each arm instead of 3 hits on one arm. Oh, that was a long turn. But yeah, it's kind of funny how I kind of know more about the underground bands of Chile than the popular bands. because of all of these things. Where am I? Okay. But I might take the time, like now. Like I said before, after remembering this band, can probably take the time now to get into some popular Chilean stuff to see what I missed. It is cool. It is really cool. The underground shit is really awesome. What is a shame with the underground stuff is that there isn't really a culture in Chile. There isn't really like a geek culture like on other countries. Like I heard, for example, or at least in other cities, I heard there's some cities on Argentina, for example, where there is like a very ingrained culture of like geeks. Like, I don't know, like this weekend, where are we gonna go? Which jazz bar are we gonna go, or stuff like that. And like young people do that normally, and so there is a fruitful underground scene of bands that actually have something to do apart from just releasing music. That is not really a thing in Chile, or in Santiago at least. I think there is some of it on Valparaiso with jazz, I heard. I'm not familiar with it because I'm not from Valparaiso. So when I say it's not a thing, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. There was some bars, like rock bars, where you would see a lot of bands doing tributes and stuff like that. But there's not a culture around it. You don't usually hear your friends or people in general saying, hey, what band I'm gonna hear like live this weekend. Like there is, for example, in New York, for instance. And so you actually have something to do as an artist from a band, an underground band or something like that. Here, what I heard from most bands that are like that, like underground, is that you almost have to like
modern psychology,
like beg for that to happen, for someone to let you go to a bar and something, or work really hard, and then there's like not a whole lot of people go anyways, and so it's hard to develop a fan base from the underground. And that's why most, if not everything, of the underground stuff I put on the stream from Chile are not really a thing anymore. Or they just work on like one album, like every couple of years. Like they get reunite and they try to make an album or something, but they don't really tour or anything or play anywhere. Yeah. Okay. I'll attempt it again, I think. Again, it depends on the fight. But it's looking good so far. Almost. Come on. Work. Nice. Nice. It doesn't matter that much. Like, you can get it later, but... This means I don't have to worry about here. It's just that I never get that one. So that's why I get hype. But if not, you can get it there. Is that fucker gonna die? I'm scared. I think it should. Come on, die. Do it for a team. Don't make me waste 8 seconds. Nice. Magic is slow. One, two. Talking about Metroid Prime, a few weeks ago, CFG showed a load TED in his stream. Made by school or not? I don't remember who made it. No, I don't think it was school. But it wasn't one of the usual Tazers, I think. Like, it wasn't Edsan or Fusion Barrier. It was someone else. It was pretty good. Low percent, no damage. Which I'm usually not the biggest fan of no damage runs. But this one in particular, I find it really interesting because it's low percent. Like, that Kater wasn't already stupidly hard. Okay, that's Chaos and Tong. Can go one more down. Yeah, that's not enough magic. It's close, but not quite. Okay, no damage here though. I still don't know what exactly prevents the damage there. Because if I go as far as I can, sometimes I still get it. Nice. I even cut the arm. Cut everything. Almost touched the barrier too. Probably the best Kareem I can ask for. Like, ever.
Kareem.
In Prime 2, yeah, there's invincibility stuff. Like Cannonball. But it's only during Morph Ball. And also you deliver like 500k damage per frame, something like that. It's so ridiculous.
I will not argue that I was shocked by the sudden mention.
Yeah, and apparently what I found out during the TIS is that low percent on Prime is not the lowest percent. Like, nobody has finished a 20% run yet. Like, 21 is the RTA. Because it feels like it's really TIS only. Like, it's something else. I watch a little bit of the strat because it's so ridiculously hard and precise that even the only taser that could do it, which is Hazel, hasn't done one because of the amount of work you will require. So the TIS, there is not even a TIS of it. We only have like a couple of videos of the trick that you need to do. One of the tricks you need to do in order to complete it. Yeah, what the fuck. But yeah, technically you could like... You could do a run of 20%. If you complete it on like 1 year, it's gonna be a record. Still. Because it's low percent. 1, 2, 3. No reset, 20% run. Never reset. I don't know if I can move. I'll finish it. Because it was a weird free cast. Make it cemented? Yeah, that's true. But even that, like... even that, I don't think it's happening. Not with a new... Like, you need more secret worlds. Like RTA setups for secret worlds. To get out of bounds. Cannonball in Prime 1. Would that help in any... Oh, I guess with magma. Yeah, I guess. But I think that the biggest issue is that there is less options for secret worlds on Prime 1. Because on Prime 2 you have Screw Attack, which is the main way to get out of bounds. Alright, Lindsay. Lindsay it is.
The ancients' influence was incredible. From
I don't know. I don't know anything about Trilogy. Oh, 7, yeah. No chat time. Maybe? Nice. Alright. Now to get the easier one, because every time I get this one, I fail the next one, which is easier. Not enough to get one. Gotta get both. Zombie looks far away. Yep. It's over. Fuck! Why do you hate me so much, game? Fuck, dude. There's no backup. Oh my god. One more. Lovely. Low sanity. In first floor. It's so easy. And yet I just can't get it. Every time I get the hard one. It's not easy. Listen, it's not easy. It's so easy compared to the other one. Whatever. I'm getting Tina vibes in my voice. Lost Vikings, please. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Okay. I gotta do something about sanity effects. Come on, dude. Just leave me alone. Although I think HP recovery might be more important at this point. Metal. What do you mean metal? What do you mean metal? These zombies have no idea what's going on. No sanity damage. No sanity damage. You haven't seen me. You have no idea who I am. Almost. Can't finish that. No. Not even close. Whatever. Let's watch it. I wanna see that. I love that cutscene. I just wanted to see it. Whoa! That failed. Look at that. Interesting. What's my sanity? I have no idea. Looks fine for this at least. Okay, that should be full sanity. Yep. So we're kind of good to go for the rest of the chapter. But yeah, makes sense. Broly behind. Yep. So if your movement is correct on that room, the Smatcher will always kill that Skelly. Kind of funny. Okay, that's under 50%. And this doesn't look like a lot of magic. Oh fuck, double? Maybe it is a lot of magic now. No, the next one is gonna be a record. A free recovery. Because of the amount of health and sanity. And because I probably triggered the zombie there? Yeah. Please.
Fool.
Please. Nice. Okay. Because that wasn't quite a free recovery. That will trigger a recovery explosion. Most likely. Which is not the end of the run, but it's bad. There's a chance I don't even have explosion yet, to be fair. Just like in the other run. There's less instances to get it on this run. No, it's a bunch. It's just that there is like a pause there. But it's definitely like some impulse. It's just the cutscene messing with you.
I can't. No, no, no.
But it does look like it.
Don't let him hit me. Oh, help me.
Because the zombie keeps moving, but then Lindsay is frozen on that state. So that, if anyone wants to do silver skip on their runs, I'm probably gonna send them a highlight of this to make their decision. Like, this is what you're getting into. And then if someone wants to do CS, I'll send the entire stream, of course. Because yeah, I actually don't have any, before this, I don't have any streams of myself playing this category. Like I said before, all of those I played offline.
In Europe, during the time of the Inquisition.
Apart from all the things you've heard me saying on the Discord and stuff like that, I don't really have a way to show you how awful this category is. Now I do. Kinda.
You are not free to leave this plane until you complete a task for me. You are to hunt and kill the master of this
And yeah,
house.
if I could skip Lindsay, I would do it. Absolutely. Every day of the year. Every day isn't Lindsay Day. Yes. But I can't, because I need 2 runes. 3 runes actually that are on that episode. Looks late for my taste. Sure. Okay.
You are a clever man.
I think that's a 30 seconds save. Or 50 seconds save, maybe? I believe I got it second try on my run. The pole part. Not sure though. It really looked late for me. But yeah, considering how behind I am, I need to get like everything first try, I think. Which would make for an amazing run, but here it would only make for either a tight run or I don't know. I'm just not sure. Again, super unfamiliar with this category to say anything else. No, I need to go for the body. Body is better. So we backtrack for Paragon. Only thing we need here. Only to make 7 spells. And now we can finish. And getting the Bone Teeth sequence is what triggers the flag for the Custodian to open this last door. Because otherwise you would need to do another cutscene storage to skip the chapter. But since you're so close here... sure. I guess I didn't got it first try. I mean second try. I was thinking like second try. No, wait, I know what's going on there. That is all route shenanigans. That is all route shenanigans, because on all route, you need to do 2 cutscene storages on that part. One is for Edward skip. Now I do Edward skip with free gas, so it's free. Because it's free gas, no, but it's actually free. Interesting. I completely forgot about. So that is one of the things that this route does, that the new glitches do for you. Saves your cutscene storage and probably some good time.
Much has been written about the exploits of conquerors.
Completely forgot about that. And I told you, late game is...
You are not free.
Is this, it's just this.
Until you complete a task for me. You are to hunt and kill the master of this house.
We are like
Do this
halfway.
one thing, and you will be free. Else fear the wrath of Chaturka.
It could be. Now I gotta go for Kareem. Oh my gosh.
Kareem.
Why? Why did I fail silver? I could be done with this category today if I didn't fail silver. God. Yeah, a little bit.
The war to end all wars redefined how mankind...
Alright, so you have to play a little bit of Peter. Peter has one job. Get the 7th Circle of Power. And that's only to do 7 spells on Enga. Nothing else. Basically just to get around a couple barriers. And a reveal invisible. trapper. That allows me to move in this cutscene. We move close to a nurse to maybe don't get sanity damage. Yeah, nice. Otherwise you get a weird fixed sanity damage. Here I only got 1 damage from the bone teeth, which still leaves me over 50% sanity. Creatures cannot be summoned on this location, but I'm still gonna summon a trapper for you. Alright.
You are not free to leave this plane until you complete.
This run is quite the roller coaster. Yeah, it is.
You are to hunt.
Fail easy strat, get all the frame perfect ones.
Do this one thing, and you
Doesn't care about the Guardian or the Artifact anymore. Yeah.
the wrath of Chaturka.
That's all that matters. You get bigger spells and then you run from the war. Too early.
You are not free to leave this plane until you complete a task for me. You are to hunt
So,
and kill the master
I
of this
believe
house.
either Peter or
Do this
Michael
one thing,
was
and you
second
will be
try
free.
on my run,
Fear
and
the
maybe the
wrath
other one was
of Chaturka.
first try, or both were second try. Definitely not both first try, I think. Looks late to me, but maybe it's fine. Oh my gosh.
Curry.
Sure thing, and the time saved there, so it probably was second try. Let's see, it could have been even third, but I guess... Because there is time save on Peter with free cast. It's very small, it's almost nothing, so just considering it's almost nothing, I guess it could have been third try. I don't know. What do I know? Maybe I need to rewatch my run and write those numbers down to know for sure. So if I am significantly behind here, which I'm not right now, something I could do is try to go for a credit swap on Pius. You know, like not use the penny and just skip the last fight.
You are not free to leave this plane.
It is a cool category. Like if you, I mean,
You are to hunt and kill.
it is
the
a
master
weird
of this
thing.
house.
Like you said,
Do
it
this one thing,
it's kind of
and
cool
you will
that
be
it
free.
exists.
Else fear the wrath of Chaturka.
Now here's the thing, there's this last one. We can get stuck here forever. And that is the thing, you can always get completely stuck on one. Okay, I already commit up. That was a mistake. Okay, it was first try on the TV. Why this run? Why do you give me this wrong game? Okay, cutscene storage is done. From now on, it's only other tricks. So it's still not over. There's still one crash, one possible crash. Plus me playing well. So unlike no CS, I actually got the luxury of explosion here. Because no bind skip. So I can use explosion at my command here to avoid sanity effects. Okay, that's the first trick that we need to get. It's about a 20-second save from the all run that didn't have free cast. That's already very good. Now we need a pull here. And now it's Enga. We have to play the entire Enga. No way around it. With cutscene storage, you could technically replace this Enga by Edward Enga, but it's quite slow. So not really an option in terms of speed. You could do it if you want. Oops. I need to check that goal. That goal is wrong because, like, that was definitely a gold on this category. The goal is wrong because I do 7 spells here. I forgot about that. That goal is from the other any person. Next is 4. Warm Warp can also be nasty if I failed it. A Trapper could also be bad news. And that's the only reason. All these things are the only reason why it's not over yet. 1 trapper, 2 trappers, 1 worm. Me almost fucking up the trick. 2. Almost forgot to press start. Good thing you have a lot of time to press it. 5. I also have explosion, so I don't worry for sanity effects there. I just do 1 recovery, cancel recovery, which is not an option on the other route. Shield here. Where are the trappers? Okay. Oh my god. For like a little brief moment that looked like Big Alex, even though I know it's literally impossible to get a sanity effect there. Kinda got me. Okay, I gotta do assignments on number 3. This is a strat that it's similar to the last any percent adjustment, the other any percent. So pull before, then watch a cutscene, and then assignments. And then I use the same pause to do a free gust. And the Chaturable. And there is a very risky strat of doing a Chaturable during the wait. I'm not gonna do it. It's too risky. It's not that type, but it's too risky. Like, I actually got it multiple times. I didn't fail a single time on practice. But it's too scary if you fucked up. Because if you do it too early, you get Chaturable instead of the Celtapul. And if you haven't crossed the threshold of sanity, you don't get the warp. But this Chaturable here saves like 4 seconds if you do it. There you go. So there you can cast a Chaturable. And that avoids you sneaking here. And in another room later. So it's like, I say 4 seconds, it's probably less than that, honestly. Probably like 2 seconds, like 1 second per sneak, maybe. It's not a whole lot. Number 2. Number 2 has a very interesting multicast. Cast shield on the middle of the spire, then complete the puzzle, and then reveal. And you move as soon as you see a shield. The reveal finishes right before the teleporter sends you here. So here, I don't need to sneak if I had the bull. That's the other sneak I say. Number 6. Trapper territory. 1 on the spire, many down. Explode. Thank you. He has some friends down here. There's only 1 on this side. Yeah, the other one is kind of far away. I'm going slightly safe on my speed storage. Or charge it running. Two more to go. You can sometimes open the door at the roughly the same time. You get hit. It's always worth to go for it. Not my favorite configuration. I was hoping to make the first one explode. And then another multicast there that you can do with the pool. If you have pool assignment beforehand. And then this pool lasts until the end. I mean, not exactly until the end, but it allows you to don't sneak or cast another spell. And here's where it gets real. There is a crouch here. And this right here is the only reason why I haven't said, like, this is over, you know? Because once I get to Pious, it's over. But there is a crouch here. For a 20-second or 16-second time save, you risk a crash. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Okay. Okay. It looked weird because I think my angle was off a tiny bit. So that the window for that trick is 8 frames. There's 8 frames. I need to switch. Hang on. Just to skip this one. I cannot do this target run with the shotgun. 8 frames, it works. After those 8 frames, or before, I don't remember, it just doesn't work, you just don't get it, and it's fine. But then there's 2 frames, either after or before. I use the penny, right? I use the penny. Let's hope I use the penny, otherwise it's over. Like, I'm done. But I think I use it. There's 2 frames where it crashes. Apart from the 8 frames, okay? So it's not like 2 and 6, it's 2 and 8. So I guess it's 10 frame window where the behavior is weird, and outside of that, you just don't get any weird behavior. You get the enchantment before the portal. Okay, we good. I forgot to split. It's fine. Totally forgot to split. I'll do it on one of the cutscenes. Like, or something, I don't know. Come here. Oh, really? Come on. Okay, this is kind of a bad place so far. Can get better. I can still get some fast artifacts in late fight. Not getting a good pattern yet. He keeps being in the middle. But we got a spell during max, which is always good. You're always a fan of that. One more hit and I'm casting a pool. Pulse sound on Alex. Come on. Nice. Spell on Roberto. But he's far away. I'll wait just a tiny bit there. I'm not matching start, because otherwise I'm gonna get stuck on this camera. I don't want that. Now I can press start. That didn't hit. That's a shield too. This is gonna be a rough ending. Come on. This is so bad. So bad.
Ah, that's the ticket.
All right. There's a... I don't know if it counts as an auto scroller. You can speed it up a lot with good RNG and good stuff. I guess it has some auto scroller things, but
my dear. The ancients' plans are finished.
I wouldn't call it a D-Rust myself because I actually practiced a lot for this. My D-Rust was another day on an offline run.
Just as I am.
That was like an hour and a half
Like this. It's not quite the
because of like I felt like
But there was
20
so little time.
cutscene storages offline, just because I wanted a feeling of the new route. It was kind of a no reset that I did while I was like watching YouTube and other things during the cutscene storages.
Knowledge now seeped inside. Something happened then. I realized that I was not the only
So
one.
you can call it a comeback if you want, but it's not quite a D-Rust because
In other places, other
I actually practice a
universes,
lot of this.
fighting the same fight, all to serve the needs of the great ancient.
I think you can tell because of
And to
my
have
play,
our world
like
spared
how fast I'm doing menus and all that.
eternal darkness.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the GGs, everyone. But yeah, how much I lose on... I lose 3 minutes on Lindsay.
There is nothing.
My god. More, like
My teacher Has
3:45.
obliterated the insanity of
Oh my
Zelda.
gosh.
The
I'll be done
madness
with this
of
category with that.
Zelda
Without
has
that.
overcome the
I'm still gonna
power
play it a
of
little bit more.
Ulyaoth. The boundless
Because I'm
Ulyaoth
ashamed
has
of that Lindsay
decimated
so
the
much.
power of Chaturga. All at once, separate and simultaneous. For the universe is made of many tiny
I got carried
many
by the frame perfect tricks on first try.
all in harmonious synchronicity. Only
Those splits are gonna be
remains, slowly
like
dying.
hell to run against.
Mantarok, Keeper, Overseer, Warden of Ancients, Chaos, an entity trapped between the veils of reality, and the enchanted stakes that impale
Yeah.
its flesh.
Now, I am a little bit concerned about
Unable
this,
to rally its guardians,
about the Sum of Best,
it could rely only on its subtle manipulations
because
of the noiseless family to destroy its enemies.
it's
Knowing
not
the
looking
nature
that
of the
low,
ancients, it used
and
its
I
power
already
to
hit the
play
first try
against each
everything,
other,
I think.
resulting in their mutual annihilation.
So sub-hour is not happening.
Now it will languish forever, festering in its tomb,
Not with this route.
plotting.
If I add more cutscene storages, it can happen. There's still one goal that I didn't register on Eternal Darkness split. On Alex Enga, that is. Then there's probably another goal on Lindsay. Sure. The TIS storages? Yeah, no. No, it's not even the TIS. It's not even the TIS. These are... So, there's two more that are fairly reasonable. Both save 2 minutes. So, if I were to add those two right now and get them first try, I would get the sub-hour with the Sum of Best. Okay, so it's a lot of things together. But yeah, there's... So, one on Karim, right after getting Uyot, saves 2 minutes. And the other one is on Lindsay, right after getting Artak. You teleport to Mantorog, backtrack to get Tyr, and then finish the chapter normally. Because everything is kind of a mess. Those that also saves 2 minutes, about 2 minutes. Maybe a minute 55 actually, just because of hallway skip, which I also failed here, right? That's even more, yeah, Jesus. So, and now the thing is, you have to do that after the two zombie clips. Right after that, actually. So it's making Lindsay even worse, in a way, than already is. So those are the two ones that I could add, and that are still unreasonable scenario. You know, it's 2 minutes. That means you can fail 3 times if you get a good fail, which is an early frame. You know, when you know already, immediately, if you failed it, that's 30 seconds each. So you fail 3, get the 4th one, you're tied because it's 2 minutes. Okay, so you can only fail 2 then. You have to get the 3rd one, I guess. So yeah, you can get a 3rd try and you still save in 30 seconds. But you can also get it like 10th try. Or never. And then the next two ones that are still on the human realm, but kind of unreasonable for me at least, it's the one on Anthony, which is still not that bad considering it's kind of at the beginning of the run. Like, you could try to reset for that, you know what I mean? But it's still kind of rough. That one saves a minute and 20 seconds or so. It's less than 2 minutes for sure. I don't remember exactly how much it is. I have it here on my spreadsheet. Let's see. Any percent routes. CS. A minute 40. That's how much it saves. The one on Anthony. The safe version saves a minute 35 because you're casting an extra spell to get the magic bar. Otherwise you get an invisible magic bar, which is like, you can finish the game, but it's way harder because you don't see your magic ever. You can't see it. Not in the pause, nowhere. It's not shown, but it exists. And then the other kind of unreasonable one is the one on Pious, you enter the bios fight, and instead of fighting, you do a credits warp. It's the only place from where we can do a credits warp, sadly. Otherwise, this category would be a joke. Which I'm a fan of, by the way. If credits warp from the beginning of the game is discovered, I will do it. So I don't have to do this shit again. Okay? I will happily do it. But yeah, that's the other one, and that one saves a minute and a half or so from the best bios, which doesn't happen very much. So it could be up to 2 minutes, honestly. Compared to these bios, maybe it's 2 minutes and a half, even. So sometimes it's not that unreasonable to think about that one. But you see, it's a question of how many more you want to do. How many more frame perfect tricks you are getting into the run. And granted, a frame perfect trick is not that big of a deal if it didn't cost 30 to 50 seconds each time you have to go for it. That is the big deal, you know? Like if I could try a frame perfect trick every 5 seconds, for instance, you know? It's not that bad. But yeah. No. Don't even say that. That's illegal. You're gonna get yourself banned from my chat. Jesus. How do you think a TIS would be? The current HRT, which is a human restricted TIS, it's not exactly a TIS. It's a TIS done only with, that's an RBRB, there you go. With humans strats is 54 minutes, but it's quite outdated. So with FreeCast strats, that should be a 52 or 51, more or less. That's HRT, so that is a human that hits every single cutscene storage that is reasonable. All the reasonable ones are all the ones that save more than 20 seconds or so. So it doesn't even have every single one. An actual TIS will hit some cutscene storages that save like 5 seconds. And that would be even lower. Maybe 50 minutes, I'm guessing. Plus the TIS shenanigans, which is like insane menus. Probably lower than 50, honestly. Like an actual TIS. That's my educated guess. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for watching. I'll try to beat this if I can get lucky on the frames in order to get a better latency. I am already fine with this. I am not happy. I mean, I am happy. I am happy, yes. But I'm not, what's the word? Like, content, maybe? No. Satisfied, could be. But if I don't get another run, it's also fine. Because I already got something, you know? But I'll try a little bit. If I don't get anything, I might just do a TIS of it. Like not an actual TIS. Also not an HRT, but a low TAD. A low optimized TIS. With some shenanigans on human stuff. But not to the point of being extremely optimized, you know? Just to make it more fun and different from the older TIS. And to exploit the menu stuff that you can do here. Like before I go, it's just very quickly. Let me show you something. Let's see. You are free to leave though. It's just shenanigans from here. So you see how we do this. to scroll down, I just press D-pad down, because that scrolls until the next chapter, like the next cutscenes of the next chapter, which is slightly faster than pressing down on the control stick, because it scrolls cutscene per cutscene. And so you just match D-pad down and you're gonna get down. But there's a different strat that is actually accomplishable by humans. You could practice the hell out of this and get it, but it's really, really hard, and if you miss one input, you kind of lose the entire rhythm, and then it's slower. So for it to save time, you really need to nail it down, like so much. And that is, every time you scroll down, you can do a scroll trick like this. A scroll trick is you press R and then L to come back to this, or L and then R, doesn't matter. You have like, I think it's like 3 frames after you press down, and then do a scroll trick, and then you're gonna be on the next one. So like that. But it's so hard, like, to get it consistently, because you need to hit everything. Now a TIS, what can do is 3 frames scrolling down, I think it's like 3, 1 frame of L, 1 frame of R, and then 1 frame of pressing A, and you can hold down, and then 3 more frames, which is impossible for a human, okay? Now, a good human can still get faster than this, okay? But not as close to a TIS. Like, TIS, I think, saves like 7 seconds from every scroll, down and up, okay? So, every time I need to do this shit, a TIS will save about 7 seconds over me. Just because it's doing this. Like, it's just... Oh my god. I just can't. And I actually did practice this a lot. I was thinking doing it. There I got it 3 times. Because that's the other thing. You have to do it fast. Otherwise it doesn't save time. That's the biggest problem. Because otherwise you can just do this. Okay, even slow, I tend to fail. No. I actually have a video of a TIS doing that. I can show on the next stream because I don't know where it is. It took me a while to find it. It's very funny because it goes so fast that you hear like the fucking menu, this thing, like something like that, because it pressed this thing. It's so fast. It's like, Jesus. It's so fun. And that alone is like the reason why I would do a low optimized TIS, just to show that off. But yeah. Now I can go. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm still surprised that I actually got a PV.